So I'm challenging you today. Look for something great and post about Nigeria during this period of Independence Day celebration. They have posted, they have said, they have spread a lot of terrible things about this country. Today, I am challenging you. Post something great about Nigeria. Tell us that the first person who did a particular thing is a Nigerian. We all know the story of Toby and Musa, and you can shout it again in case they have forgotten. What's up, family members? Welcome to yet another episode of Adulting with Bella. And guess what? Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I am rocking my green, white, and green. So this is just to tell you that it is Independence Day special edition on Adulting with Bella today. Yay! So you're probably going to be seeing this video on Sunday, the 2nd of October, or maybe a day or two or a week or maybe a month after that. It was Nigerians' independence on the 1st of October, but I thought it would be nice to just talk about Nigeria and dedicate today's vlog to celebrating Nigerians' independence, which I feel like most of you actually feels like there's really nothing to celebrate in Nigeria. I'm not going to deny the fact that a lot of things have been going on in this country, and celebrating Nigeria is going to be a bit difficult for some of us. But the fact is, it is another Independence Day, and there is always reasons to celebrate. This video is going to be my first Independence Day vlog as a YouTuber. I'm just going to take us back to history and let's get to know how we got to where we are today, why are we here today, and what we can actually do to become better. Because basically, I think all what we are thinking about as Nigerians right now is how we can become better. So stay to the end of this video if you want to learn a little about Nigeria, if you want to understand how we got here, and if you want to hear my opinions on what we can do better to make Nigeria a better place. I've been looking for like the best way to start this whole Nigerians journey story, and the only thing that came to mind was the whole the Avatar intro, but I don't think that works for Nigeria because I don't even know who the 4 nations are in this country. I don't think the Avatar story follows it. So let's try that again. So basically, I want to talk about a brief history of Nigeria and how we got to where we are today. The story of Nigeria starts even before the name Nigeria came into existence. So I'm just going to give you a backstory briefly, and then I would really want this vlog to be a very short vlog. So yeah. So in the 14th century, the Portuguese merchants sailed from one place to the other, actually came to the Niger Delta coast, and that was the first time they discovered like that there was another land outside Europe. So this Portuguese merchant took the news back, and war happened, a lot of things happened, and when things kind of settled down in 1884, I just hope I'm getting my years correctly. If not, this would be a dent on my government class in secondary school. So yeah, so I think in 1884, the 7 European powers as at then had a Berlin conference in order to scrabble for the new land that was found, which was Africa. The 7 European powers included Britain, Belgium, Germany, France, Portugal, Spain, and Italy. Portugal started carrying out activities in the region which is now known as Nigeria before finally it was handed over to the Britain during that conference. So this region was actually handed over to Britain in, I think, in the 1990, and we had different administrators being sent by the Queen to come and administer Nigeria over the territory now known as Nigeria until 1914, when we had Sir Lord Lugard administrating over this territory, and he decided to add the Northern and Southern Protectorate of Nigeria together. I don't know what gave him this idea, but a lot of people think that was a wrong move. A name was given to it by a British journalist called Flora Shaw, which people say was his girlfriend, What I know is that she later married Salon Luga. So I don't know if she was Salon Luga's girlfriend as at then, or they just happened to meet later on and they got married. And the colonialism continued until 1960, when Nigeria gained her independence on 1st October, which we are celebrating today. But the main question with the 1st October independence is, was Nigeria really ready for that independence? I think I am more tilted to the school of Nigeria wasn't really ready for independence because we had not learned the structure that would work for us. We had not learned how to actually administer a bunch of diverse people as a whole. I felt like Britain was able to administer Nigeria as one body because they were a third party and their personal interest was not favoring anybody. But at this point, Nigeria administrating itself, there was always going to be this feeling that the person at the end of affair is always going to favor his own section personal interest. Post-independence and pre-independence, there have been a lot of conversations surrounding if colonialism had brought more good than bad to Nigeria. Some schools of thought saying that, oh, if not because of colonialism, a country like Nigeria wouldn't have known religion. And I'm like, we had our traditional religion. They thought a place like Nigeria wouldn't be educated, and their definition of education is the Western education. They thought that we wouldn't have had infrastructural development, which they used slaves to actually build these structures, using our natural resources to build this structure. All they brought in here was their exposure, but every resource that was used was from us. They talked about science and technology, they brought that to Africa. They brought socio-economic development to Africa because of trade and all of that. And part of this trade was to trade human beings. I was given a name, slavery. I don't know how that works for us, but well, people say that was like, those were like the positive side of colonialism. But looking at the negative side of colonialism, one begins to wonder if it was really worth all of that. You know, the slavery, the torture Africans went through, the fact that we learned corruption from these guys. Like, Africans were just really actually cool people until you came to entice a certain set of people with mirrors and hot drinks and jeans and some metals to to start selling their brothers. So I feel like that's where our corruption actually started. So yes, I'm holding the colonial masters responsible for our corruption, some moral decadence. You want to talk about the extortion, the fact that natural resources and human capital were taken out of this country to Europe to make that place better. Racism started. People started understanding that some people, some set of people could be better than some set of people. I mean, all of these things we learned during colonial masters because we were all very innocent. We were like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and colonialism came in, and that seemed like the forbidden fruit which we ate. Just moving on, after we gained independence in 1960, we became a republic in 1963, and I am very sure a lot of Nigerians don't know the difference between independence and republic. So yes, I am here to help you out. So independence, the British government had accepted that Nigeria can be run by Nigerians. So they were no longer sending British to come to Nigeria as administrators. But as at 1960, Nnamdi Azikiwe was appointed by the Queen to administer over Nigeria as the Governor General. But in 1963, and mind you, as at 1960, a lot of things were not in place. We were still working with the British common law. We were still adopting their system. Nnamdi Azikiwe was practically still reporting to the Queen. And this wonderful country thought 3 years was enough to put all structure in place. We are superpowers, we are magicians. So in 1963, we became a republic. So basically, like the first election was conducted that brought in Tafawa Balewa as the prime minister. And we now had the 1963 constitution. We basically just did our thing ourselves. So it was a thing of sovereignty in 1963, and it was a thing of independency in 1960. So how did that turn out with us? Basically 3 years after the republic, a coup happened. Mm, we thought it was going to end there after the coup and military took over power. We really thought it was going to end there. But just the following year, 1967, we went into one of the most dreadful period in the history of Nigeria. The Nigerian Civil War, which started in May 1967 and lasted for about 30 months. Just when you think, okay, there was going to be peace and harmony, 5 years later, that was 1975, another coup happened. I'm not going to give you all the long story. I'm just going to cut this short. So it was coup after some 1983 elections that was annoyed, and a lot of things happened. Fast forward to when 1998, when the last military head of state, in the person of Sani Abacha, died. Our eternal sugar daddy, the only one that keeps sending us money from the grave, he was allegedly killed with an apple. I don't know, but what I know was that I was born 3 days after he died. So all of these stories I'm telling you, I was not there when it happened. In 1999, election was conducted, and it brought in the first democratic government. So we had the government of Obasanjo and Atiku. Yaragua came in and he ruled for I think 2 years before his untimely death, and Jonathan had to complete his other tenure. Uh, Everything happened up to now. The point I want to raise is that as at 1980, Nigeria's economy was seemingly doing well under the military rule. That was the period of oil boom. People were doing great. Militancy started in the south. That just felt like all through the history of Nigeria, it has always been a bit chaotic since 1960. Chaos left and right. But this chaos these days have been really targeted to frustrating Nigerians. I would not lie. Like, the chaos these days is just targeted at devaluing the value of the currency of this country. See, I'm not going to call names here, but I don't know why we keep making policies that just keep making us go crazy in this country. I know being a Nigerian is tough, and the fact that you go through a lot. Your educational system is bad. I don't even want to talk about our health sector, or the fact that our roads are terrible. Or do you want to talk about security of life and properties? Or do you want to talk about the corruption that goes on in this country? Oh, hold on. Is it the economic hardship? Guy, 740 naira to $1. How do you do this? Like, we are just how many nairas away from a dollar being equal to our highest denomination, like our highest note. How many nairas are we away from that? 280 nairas away from that. This is so really sad. And I know that a lot of Nigerians, all what we have in our minds are either a particular person wins this coming elections, or they're just going to leave this country the term Jackpa. But yes, I think it's okay to feel that way because it gets really frustrating, and sometimes you ask God, who did you offend? This video is just to give you a word of encouragement that you should always continue to be proud of Nigeria. There are certain things that you can actually do as a single individual to uplift Nigeria. The first thing is, if me and you can agree to be selfless in this country, it would move forward a bit. For us to become better, we would have to sacrifice. Nobody wants to lose for Nigeria. Everybody feels like Nigeria owes us everything. That is the same spirit we take to handling government property. That's the same spirit we take when we're in position of government. We feel like we just need to benefit and we don't care about others. We don't care about the masses. We just have to put selflessness in front of us. So this selflessness is extended to 2023 elections. And 2023 elections, I want you to be a smart ass. I'm not going to tell you when they come and share 1,000, don't collect. collect it and still go and vote who your mind is telling you is the right person. When you finish voting, go and buy malt and indomie and eat. After all, this economy is so hard. The price of indomie now, I don't even know if 1,000 will do you. Go and vote who you know in your heart of heart. Even if he's not going to make Nigeria better, he is not going to worsen it for me and you and our unborn children. So selflessness. The second thing is honesty. I feel like really need to call this out because the reputation of Nigerians outside there is something I am not really proud of as a Nigerian. Like most times, people are shocked to see that Nigerians are honest. Why? Why this? Like, I am one of those people that I feel like when I'm dealing with anybody, I tend to make you understand that yes, I can actually be honest as a Nigerian. Because I am a Nigerian doesn't mean that I am fraudulent. Because right now, it seems like the synonym of fraudulent or fraud in the dictionary was one of the synonyms would be Nigerians or Nigeria. Like because of that, we go through a lot of rigor to do certain things like gaining visa to certain countries. Even countries that are not supposed to have levels will be denying a whole giant of Africa visa. I have actually heard a foreigner say things like, if you don't do it for me, other Nigerians are willingly going to take a lesser amount of money to do it. Like someone is threatening you to do fraudulent thing for them because they know that if you don't do it, someone else will do it. We need to try to start spreading honesty stories about Nigerians. Like it's not only when hush puppy is caught or somebody is caught with drug or somebody is fraudulent that should be trending as Nigerians. When people do great things, when you see a Nigerian doing something good, don't try to castigate. I feel like we Nigerians are also responsible for this. So this takes me to my next point. Always spread good news about Nigeria. Like American is also shitty. You would stay somewhere and somebody will randomly come and carry gun and start shooting. Why? Oh, I am depressed. You're depressed and your depression is taking you to load a gun and shoot. Like or go into school with teenagers and start shooting randomly. Like a lot of these crazy things happen. But guess what? These people still say great things about their country. You would always hear God bless America. Like people always want good things to come to America. So I think somehow we need to also change our mindset, our perception about Nigeria and start thinking positively. See, I really believe in that. If you can think it, you can be it. So yes, let's start thinking of having a positive Nigeria. Let's start only spreading big news about the positive side of Nigeria. If shit is going on with you, call it out. Oh, I'm not saying if shit is going on with you should hide it. I think that's another thing Nigerians need to learn. Stop accepting bullshit from people. Stop accepting bullshit from people. Someone can't come to your face and say shit about your country or treat you like shit and you keep quiet and go. No, let the person understand that you are not shit. You are worth it. You are great. You are good. That you come from one of the greatest nations in the world. Speak great about your country. Another thing I want to say is that we can actually be all we want to be. We just need to put in the effort. Nigeria is a great country. We just need to. I think our biggest problem is leadership problem. So this 2023 election is like a time to try to fix this country for our older self and our next generation. Please go out there. First of all, I don't know, it might be too late to say get your PVC because maybe deadline is here already, but just make sure you go out there and vote the right person. Don't let yourself be bought over with some chicken change. You know, at the end of the day, that chicken change is not even up to $5. Think about it. Pray for Nigeria. And we also need the supernatural to also help us and guide us while we are taking this action. Take actions, but take it with guidance, with great knowledge. Learn about this country, learn about our history, learn about the people who are coming out to contest these elections and vote rightly. I am going to emphasize this election and emphasize it again because that is why I am wearing this great white green. This country would become better. Another thing I want to tell Nigerians is please do not lose your heritage. There is this rubbish that goes on now that people feel like if you are doing Nigerian, you are local. No, I am not local. That thing you think is foreign is actually local to another person. For example, the white wedding is somebody's traditional marriage. You see the fried rice and the mashed potatoes and steamed veggies and the cheese you eat and you think is bougie, that is somebody's local meal. So my ekpan kuko, my edikan ikong and my afang and my amala and ewedu is my pride and my heritage when it comes to food. So I'ma eat it whenever I have the opportunity to eat it because I'ma always rep my country. This is actually one of the reasons I also love Nkosi Okonjo-Iweala. Mama doesn't care if she is the WTO. You want her to wear a suit, she will wear an Ankara suit for you. Life is not hard. Like mommy is always on Ankara and just repping where she comes from. I feel like we should not lose our heritage. We shouldn't lose our cultures. We shouldn't lose our value because we are trying to gain some inconsequential applause and recognition from people who don't really care about us. So I'm challenging you today. Look for something great and post about Nigeria during this period of Independence Day celebration. They have posted, they have said, they have spread a lot of terrible things about this country. Today, I am challenging you. Post something great about Nigeria. Tell us that the first person who did a particular thing is a Nigerian. We all know the story of Toby and Musa, and you can shout it again in case they have forgotten that lady broke the world record. Like, just say things to show that Nigeria is actually a great nation. When you keep saying this thing and ringing it in their head, they will remember who we are. I think Nigeria can be great. If you ask me again, there is still hope for Nigeria. Let's just keep the faith together. Let's keep on working hard. Let's go out there and vote who we think the right person is. Let's go out there and just do our best and keep on pushing the cause of building a greater nation. All of us cannot jackpa. Let's be honest. I also think of jackparing, but at the end of the day, can I jackpa with my entire family? I have a mother, I have a father, I have a brother, I have cousins, I have nephews. So if I leave, these people are still in Nigeria suffering all of these things. So what is the need? Why not? And see, there is no place like home. See, when you go, I feel like I have talked to a couple of friends who are abroad and they are like, when these people say shit about you, sometimes you can't do anything because you're in their country. You cannot say shit about me in Nigeria. I will give it to you back. Like you would explain to me who you are, where did you come out from? Are you okay? Something wrong with you? So yes, we can't all run and leave this country. Let's stay back and fix the economy of this country. Let's stay back and fix the leadership problems we have in this country. Let's stay back and fix the societal problems we have in this country. Let's stay back and fix the psychological mindset we have in this country. The mindset people have about us from outside and from within. We have to fix it, and Nigeria will be great again. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for watching Adulting with Bella. Till I see you next time on another episode. Bye for now.